agricultural economic sabotage.
Yes.
So, anong
Yes, actually, I'm familiar dun sa nabanggit mo. But I think that's only one aspect. Mahalaga po kasi din dito is yung, as I mentioned earlier, nawala kasi sa NFA yung monitoring, registration, inspection, powers. So, tama si Senator Cynthia Villar sa bahagi yun. It complements it. But para maging successful din po yun, yung batas na yun, mahalaga po kasi na mapasa din po natin that NFA's mandate of monitoring be instilled dun sa kanilang current mandate nila, mabalik po natin yung monitoring. And again, kulang po kasi. So mahalaga po that we again instill the stabilization functions of NFA. So, tama po si Senator Villar, but I believe this is complementary to it. At saka po, mahalaga po nga because we cannot predict the certain spikes, the changes in the world market prices of rice, importation, our own capacity of production. So, mahalaga po talaga that NFA will be given the power to stabilize the market and regulate it. Thank you.
Dagdag ko lang din I partly agree with the comments of Senator Cynthia Villar that this is just one of the aspects that we need to look into in solving the rice crisis. But of course, if we are just focused on this particular law, the sabotage, economic sabotage, this will not resolve the issue on the buffer stocks, stability of price of the rice. And given the powers na gusto po natin ibalik sa NFA, na sila na po magpapatakbo ng supply ng China bigas dito sa ating bansa. So again, it complements this move that we are going to amend the RTL. And sana bigyan din po nila ng pansin yung amendment sa RTL, not just on this particular law. Thank you.
Are you okay with your questions? Before turning to Kenneth Basilio of Business World, I'd like to acknowledge Ines Capante of GMA Online for another related RTL question. Yes, sir. Mabenta po.
Sir, good morning po. Here.
Ay, sorry.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, yung sa RTL lang, yung sa RCEP you mentioned, it will be continued for how long? I understand kasi sa current law, 6 years lang. So, for how long? And yung distribution, ganun pa rin ba na 50, like farm machineries, 30, rice seed, 10, credit, 10, other tech transfer or services. Ganun pa rin ba? 50, 30, 10, 10? Yung distribution?
Sige, first question, yes, again, we will extend it. We're proposing another 6 years extension of RCEP. The mix is practically the same. Of course, I have a co-sponsor, si Congresswoman Mika Swansing, who is also the principal author of this measure. Medyo naatado lang ng konti. So for example, the 50% for PhilMec became 53.5. On the merit, of course, on the utilization and the need, based on the need. I'll just run through sa rice seed development propagation promotion from 30 became 29.7. You also added the expanded rice credit assistance to be given from previous 10% to 6%. We also added the rice extension services, which used to be 10% to be now given 3.3%. Ito po yung medyo bago. Ito po yung to add on soil health improvement, which is very much needed, to be given a 4%. And another important factor na kinakailangan din po ma-address po ng RCEP to help in their productivity is the pest and disease management, to be given 2%. And the Rice Industry Development Program Management Office, so this is the creation of an office with the necessary equipment needed for data analytics, to be given 1.5%. I could give a copy kasi meron pang excess RCEP. We also somehow tweaked on the menu dun sa XSR set. Would you want me to read or medyo mahaba lang to?
Okay.
Bigyan na lang ako copy.
Later na lang.
Sige. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Have we resolved all RTL questions? Okay, Kenneth, go ahead with your inquiry.
Okay po, patungkol naman to sa naging human rights super body ni President Marcos. So how will the House act on the President's creation of the human rights super body na? Will the House act on measures seeking to strengthen the Commission on Human Rights and enact a bill seeking to guarantee the protection of human rights defenders in the country po?
Mauna na siguro. Yung paggawa po ng super body net, hindi po siya bago. Ginagawa po siya ng local government, ginagawa po siya ng mga international governments. Lahat po yan accompanied by policy, accompanied by yung mga nararapat na IRR. So, kung bubuin po nila, kung may mga kakailanganin po silang, syempre, may mga kakailanganin na legislation, may mga kakailanganin na idadagdag sa proseso, then we will have to see on the side of the House, kasi mare-refer naman po yan sa mga angkop na committees, then we will move on from there. But we join the President on this action, kasi nga po, it's not just human rights, pero pag titignan niyo po yan yung bigger scale, yung alignments po natin, yung kung anong ginagawa ng Presidente, of course, with the West Philippine Sea, yung mga ginagawa po nilang polisiya is very much aligned with other countries. So, it's the same thing. Maraming salamat.
That would be a possibility, though. And again, we welcome this is a positive development. And wala naman po akong nakikita doon, parang merong duplication with the independent body, which is the Commission on Human Rights. We have to remember that the Philippines as a country has also an obligation in the international community. And as a matter of fact, we are party to various treaties wherein we uphold the human rights as part of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, isa po sa mga treaty na kung saan parte po ang ating bansa. And having said that, nakikita ko natin that this will be a coordinating procedure. And when we speak of coordination, at bago naman po tayo mag-implement ng mga hakbangin, it starts with coordination. So, this body will serve as a bridge. No? They can complement the functions of the CHR, and so that we can come up with the best solutions on how we can protect and solve human rights violations in our country.
Thank you, Kenneth. Marian Enriquez from Channel 5, you are recognized.
Morning po mga kong. Nabanggit mo naman po ulit si Michael Yang, as we recall before, balikan lang natin, 2022 he was like the guarantor ng Parmali, pero he was not among those na ni-recommend to be na-file ng kaso ng DOJ ng syndicated staffa. Pero ngayon, I understand yung committee po ni Congress Barbers will be inviting him, si Michael Yang, sa kanyang susunod na hearing po sa dangerous drugs. Isa rin po si Michael Yang na kilalang malapit po na malapit na kakilala ni former President Rodrigo Duterte. So, my question na lang po mainly for Kong Jill and Kong Ortega as members po ng dangerous drugs, or your thoughts on that, and maybe questions na rin na, yung first din na invite before was, I think, si Pastor Kibuloy, now ngayon panibagong kaibigan or malapit ni Digong. Ano pong masabi?
Well, let us have a brief history of Luis Michael Yang. As mentioned, he was involved in a very controversial corruption case, allegedly, with regard to the Parmali. And Michael Yang used to be the economic advisor of former President Rodrigo Duterte. And kung makikita natin, ngayon, nasasabi na naman yung pangalan niya dito sa isang drug case. No? So, parang lahat illegal. No? So, wala hong magandang nai-attribute sa pangalan ni Michael Yang. So, I guess, when we speak of serious cases like drugs. I guess the administration, the government should really look into about this controversy, lalong-lalo na nadadawit na naman ang pangalan niya. And we can have a parallel investigation also here in the House of Representatives. At siyempre, parang papatawag nga daw, no, itong si Michael Yang, upang alamin kung ano talagang actual involvement niya dito sa drug syndicate dito sa ating bansa. So, this guy, no, ang nakikita natin na talagang marami ang kailangang sagutin, no? Dahil na-involve ang kanyang pong pangalan sa iba-ibang issues, no? Even during the previous administration, meron na po siyang mga kinakarap na kaso. So I guess the government should really take this seriously, lalong-lalo na pagsausapin ng droga, ay talagang kailangan po managot ang mga kriminal at gumagawa po ng illegal dito sa ating bansa.
And to add lang, if I may speak for our chairman, syempre yung chairman po natin is more than capable to handle yung mga hearings na ganito. Talagang part of his reputation yung laban sa ganyan. And we can assure, of course, the public that credible resource persons and credible witnesses ang may imbitahan dito para makita po natin na seryoso po tayo in engaging yung mga ganitong conspiracies or characters para po ma-assure yung public na sa war on drugs na ginagawa ng administrasyon ni President Bongbong Marcos, talagang ang number one po na kumbaga ang key na ginagamit is real information. Kailangan po talaga kasi yung information. It's a very intricate web, it's a very complicated web of information po yung laban sa drugs. So hindi lang po siya nadadaan sa bara-bara. Kailangan po talaga pati yung akibat na investigasyon sa mga information talagang dumadaan po sa tamang proseso. Yun lang po.
Thank you, Marian. Kat Porgas from Radio Pilipinas.
Good morning po, Kongs. Nabanggit ko ni Kong Paulo Ortega kanina na yung investigation ng drugs hindi po bara-bara. Kailangan totoo or tama yung information na ginagamit sa investigation. And just last week po, mismo si Pangulong Marcos Jr. na po yung nagsabi na walang saysay po yung mga binabanggit nga po nitong dismissed PDEA agent na si Jonathan Morales. Kanya nga pong sinabi, para nga po itong jukebox na basta mahulog ka ng pera, kahit anong kantang gusto mo, kakantahin niya. And marami na rin po na mga senators ngayon na nagsasalita at kini-question na din po yung credibility at yung patuloy po na pagpapaharapan dito kay Morales. Pero ngayon po, ongoing po yung third hearing pa rin ng committee po ni Senator Bato de la Rosa. Ano po ba yung nagiging reflection po nito doon sa leadership po ng Senate? Na hindi po ba sapat na yung naging pahayag ng Pangulo na walang saysay para itigil na rin po nila yung hearing?
Yung jukebox, yung ano ba yan? Yung sa mga, hindi ko na inabutan yung joke lang. Hindi ba kasi may jukebox pa si Chairman, no? Young looking. Quick reaction lang siguro, no? The information is there. Like, the Senate is conducting a hearing on this, so they have information. Nasagot ko naman po ito nung huling press con, pero yun nga, with the way things are going, is the information true? May katotohanan po ba sa mga lumalabas na informasyon? Kasi yun po ang kailangan sundin eh. And sa tingin ko, nag-react po na gano'n yung mga ibang senador. And actually, the leadership has made a statement about this. Pero siguro hanggang kailan po nila ipupush to, hanggang kailan po nila i-extend. Sayang po yung time and resources kung parang majority po sa kanila. Ang tingin dito, walang validity o walang katotohanan na yung pinagsasabi nung resource person nila. So, the real question is, there is information, pero yung meat ng discussion is not centered on what should be. Sabi nga nila, kung sino yung saan ang cause ng leak. So, the information is there, pero may katotohanan po ba? Totoo po ba? Which is, tingin natin, wala po katotohanan.
Well, of course, what is at stake here is the integrity of the institution. Kung dalas tayo makakakita, makakarinig ng ganitong klaseng investigation, no, in aid of legislation, wala naman pong nakukuha, no, na sapat na ebidensya, informasyon out of these 3 hearings conducted by the Senate, particularly the Committee on Dangerous Drugs. So, I guess the Senate leadership has to intervene, no? Because even members of the Senate have already commented and reacted the way the proceeding is being conducted. Sabi naman po nila na wala naman pong saysay yung mga testimonya nitong dismissed PDEA agent. And therefore, what we have right now is a fabricated evidence being presented before a committee hearing. Sabi nga doon ni Pangulong Marcos is a professional liar. Ako naman, sinasabi ko sa kanya, is a pathological liar. No, he keeps on lying. So with this kind of witness being presented before an investigation, what is at stake here again is the quality of investigation. Let us remember, we're doing this in aid of legislation. So dapat meron pong malinaw na direksyon. So with this kind of testimonies, there's no giving corroborative evidence, there's no being documentary evidence being presented. Ito lang, very patent. Yung mismong identity lang ng agent na nagbigay sa kanya ng informasyon, hindi niya maaalala kung ito ba ay babae o lalaki. So, with this kind of investigation, we're just wasting our time, effort, instead of focusing our investigation on more important issues being faced by our country. So I guess this investigation should be stopped and should be halted, and to avoid any negative results that came out of this investigation.
Thank you po. Other topic lang po.